Alright guys, so in this part I'm just putting the frame together. My main thing with this video is that, with this build is just to make sure that I got all the dimensions right. So here's just me putting the frame together, nothing more than that. Some things are pre-cut. This is actually 4 feet wide by 6 feet long. No, actually by 7 feet long. Is it 6? I'm sorry, 4 feet wide by 7 feet long. Got it right. My main reason, because I wanted to be able to have a Outfeed table that would support a 4 sheet of plywood when it comes off the table saw. That was in a previous build that I did. So this one I wanted to make sure that it was again able to do so. So just putting the frame together here, so enjoy it. Nothing more than that. I have some clamps that I'm just making work here to make sure it's straight. Along the way there's going to be a couple hiccups, but with any build that's just how it goes. Now, one of the things you don't see, I don't show you guys in this video, is that I'm using just traditional, these are just 2x4s. I did go ahead and make sure that they were square. Now, you can put this together any different types of ways. So I wanted to make sure that when I put mine together, you didn't see the screw holes from the outside. So all my screw holes are from the inside. So it looks just like it's one solid piece all the way around. I tried my best to make sure that all the seams were pretty as tight as they could be. So that part I didn't show you because you can YouTube and find different ways to do that. But you can do it any kind of way you want. There's no right or wrong way to do this as long as it is together solid. With mine, I use wood glue and nails. Some people would just use wood glue and call it a day. Wood glue and screws. Some people would just use wood glue. I use wood glue and screws just to make sure it's the extra strength, so therefore I don't have to worry about whatever I sit on top of this, it collapsing. So I want to be sure of that. So yeah. Now you see, once I stand it up, I'm just putting all the support pieces on here, and I'm just kind of tying everything together to make sure that it's supported very well. Because the way I'm doing this, I'm doing this very purposeful, where I'm going to be it's going to have so many different storage compartments. The front side is going to have drawers, my shop vac, and my back side is going to have storage for my additional table saw that I usually take when I go to on-site jobs, my packout, Milwaukee packout stuff, and as well as another saw that I use when I go to other places as well. So I'm making sure that the frame is very well supported so it can hold a good amount of weight. I am going to be using some wheels underneath here as well. So it is going to be well supported and mobile. That's a big thing. I want to make sure that it was mobile so that it could be rolled around in my garage and could be rolled around if I decide to move and things of that nature. So don't mind. You'll see a lot of me standing around kind of looking and staring at stuff a lot of times to make sure that everything works out pretty well. Now, what I decided to do here was, right now it's upside down, and I wanted to put the bottom pieces on first before I actually turn it over. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting all the pieces that are going to be for the bottom, which is where my shop vac is going to sit, where my packout is going to sit. I'm putting, in my drawer storage is going to sit. I'm putting all of that on first and then turning it over so I don't have to be trying to go back and do it later. So, and just so you guys know, it's like I'm in the Midwest, so it is probably 35-40 degrees in my garage, and that is going to backfire on me down the road here. You'll see, and you'll probably be able to point out exactly where he's like, why is he doing that? Yeah, but anyway, but right now that's all I'm doing right here is just putting the support piece underneath to hold the different pieces, things like that nature. So yeah, I'm not sure what she was telling me in this picture. It's probably something about food. Now this is very important. Gotta have applesauce for, energy, strength. What this right here is where I'm making my drawer, my cabinet that's going to sit inside of here. And I use a dado to kind of go through and rip different pieces to make sure that all works out. Because this is going to hold screws, my pliers, my nails for my nail gun, different things like that to make sure it sits out and it works. And I'm just kind of making sure that it all fits correctly as it should, because last thing I want to do is have to redo this all over again. So I want to make sure I measure. As you see, I put a little support piece on the back there on the bottom to make sure the cabinet sits on top of it, to make sure it all sits and it's supported, and it all ended up working out pretty well. I'm very excited about how it all ended up working out. So yeah, let's keep this moving along. Now, as you see, I got the cabinet kind of in there, and I'm just pretty much getting ready to put the top piece on, because I got everything underneath is done. It is exactly how I want it to be. I am doing the top in a 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch plywood. Most of this is stuff I had just left over in my garage from other projects, and I'm going to finish it off with some laminate on top of that. Now, as most of you know, this is probably one of the most important things to make sure you get right. You always want to make sure you overcut it. That way you can go along with a router and trim where you need to trim, and get it all squared away. That way when you put it on, it's going to sit nice and flush with the edge, and it's going to sit just right. Now, on mine, I did not glue mine together. I wanted to make it so where if I wanted to change it out, I could without having to go through the whole hassle of buying 2 new pieces. So I just screwed it together underneath to where it was all pretty secure. Again, I don't abuse and just beat my stuff to crap, so I'm taking good care of it, and hopefully it will last me a very long time. Now, this part here is just me putting in drawing lines to make sure all the screws line up across the whole top, if you will. So I pre-drilled, I pre-drilled countersink the holes, and this piece actually flips over. So therefore, when I flip it over, the screws are underneath. Nothing's coming through the top piece. That's all I'm doing right here. Nothing fancy. Now here you're going to see me walk away and grab a plate, a weighted plate, because it had a little bit of flex in the plywood, so it's kind of coming up. So I'm just adding weight to keep it pressed down in those areas, so therefore when I screw it, it actually is already kind of pressed down as much as possible. So that's all that is. You don't, maybe yours is a little bit flatter, but mine I had to apply pressure. I had clamps, but it wasn't holding it down in those middle areas. So that's why I'm using whatever I had there to make it work. And now this right here is where you're going to see me start to kind of screw it into place, making sure it all lined up. I mean, it's not perfectly, but just enough. I'm going to route off the edges anyway. So see my little guy comes out to show me his pictures, collage. He has to show it, let me know what it was, explain everything to me, and of course got to make time for that. So going back, screwing it all underneath, excuse me, getting over a cold. And now everything's pretty much secure. I'm very happy with how it's turned out so far. It is exactly what I hoped it would be, and couldn't be more happy about this project right here. All right, so now this is where I started doing the drawers. And the reason why I didn't show the measurements for the drawers, because these can be however you want them to be. Like I wanted 2 big ones on the bottom, the rest I wanted smaller ones. However, you can have all big ones, you can have all small ones, you can have singles, you can have doubles. It's really up to you how you want to configure this. Now I do all my boxes kind of the manual drawer slides, meaning I cut dados in my plywood thick enough to fit the bottom to slide in and out, and then I just make the box on top of that. I pretty much use just brad nails and wood glue, a couple screws just to give a little bit more strength. But that's pretty much it. I didn't have time to spend the extra. I didn't have the money to spend the extra on the drawer slides. Excuse me, the drawer slides. I just wanted to keep it pretty basic and simple, and I knew what I wanted to do. So it takes maybe a little bit longer, maybe, but again, I'm saving. Let me see. Each drawer slide would have been probably $15, and instead I was just trying to use all the scrap that I had laying around in my garage. So that's what I'm using here. Getting all the drawers kind of tested, slide in, make sure it goes in and out, make sure the height is correct. You see me doing a little trimming because I want to make sure that it all fits correctly. And again, by it being here in the winter in the Midwest, it may expand, it might. So I gave myself some room for, you know, the wood expanding and then all that kind of stuff when it gets hotter out. So, excuse me. So that's all I'm doing here. And yeah, let's keep it moving. All right, now here I just put the drawers on the back of here. I recorded it, but I can't find a video that I did. So here is just where I'm putting my pack out, my extra table saw. You see I added a shelf down here for a little bit more storage. But you see I have my pack out in this one. I have my table saw in that one, which you can't see, unfortunately. And then my other miter saw in here. So this is the back end. This is the end that's up against the wall that you really can't see. And my main thing is I'm just trying to use as much storage space and make it as customizable to me as I can. But also too, if I decide to change things around, I have space in here to where I can add more. That's my middle son is asking me about something. I'm not even sure what it was at the moment. Probably something about food or snacks or kind of make a smoothie. But yeah. But so far, everything is going well with this build. I definitely like the fact that I was able to use most of the scrap wood I had. Now, I will tell you, if you're going to use this yourself, you're probably going to spend, depending on what wood you want to use. I used sanded ply, and I had some birch laying around, but you would probably need, again, depending on what you decide to do, I would say 3 sheets of 1/2 inch, and actually 4 sheets of 1/2 inch, and then another 4 sheets of 3/4, depending on how you build it, how strong you want it to be, things like that. So that's all. Here I'm just trying to straighten up some things and get things kind of organized, because I had stuff all over the place. So like, let me clean up before I start going to the next step. So as I get to here, all I'm doing, this is the laminate that I'm gonna have put on top, right? And this is the mistake I made. I did not read the directions, and I've done this before, and I've never done it in the winter time, right? So for me, it's, yeah, I'm layered up, and it's too cold for me to apply this. This is the concrete cement concrete, I forgot how you call it. And I'm putting it on, and I put on 2 or 3 layers, and I end up paying for this later, because after I finished my project, I was able to go back and be like, oh man, everything looks good, it looks great. And then it starts coming up. But oh well, you live and you learn, right? This is why it's DIY. This is why we learn things in the process. So I'm putting the contact cement on here, rolling it on, and making sure I cover every single thing. I went back over, did it again. So yeah, but I should have waited till it was warmer out. But again, we live and we learn. So moving on. All right, guys, so here we go. This is finally what it ended up looking like. Got everything done. I got my little storage compartment in there, which I may do something else with that, but for right now it's holding my crosscut sled, and I have all my drawers. Don't worry, you're gonna see another video of it being a little bit more organized, but I put the handles on. I picked up the handles from Menards. They were on sale, and they were like 99 cents or 69 cents, which is a great deal. So I bought like 30 of them. I'm like, I might use more drawers later. As you see on top, like, this laminate looks phenomenal. I love it. It's awesome. But I made 2 mistakes. First mistake I made was, actually, hold on. Here's the pack out area storage right here, right? It has like little magnets pop out, open and close. And then here, I table saw that I usually take with me when I go to construction site, but on job sites. And then my area down here is for my miter saw, and this is just extra storage as for whatever I want to put in there. But I made a couple mistakes. I put the edging trim around it instead of putting the laminate on top and then trimming it. I made that mistake. Here's my multi plug for my sanding when I decided to do that. So it's kind of hidden. I wanted to make sure it was hidden, but it looks so good, guys. It looks so smooth. But again, I made that mistake of not waiting until it was warm to do laminate, and then also not doing the trimming right. I should have put the trimming on top and then routed it out, but I put the trimming on first. I put the trimming on after I put the laminate on, so it's too tight. It didn't have room. So that's on me. You can kind of see it a little bit, I think. Yeah, but oh well. But for me, this works great, guys. Like, look at this. This is phenomenal. This is going to be after I organize everything. So, and this is just 1/2 inch piece of plywood that I use to kind of organize stuff, keep it all organized. But yeah, so outside of that, guys, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this build. It was awesome to make this. It was so much fun, and I really appreciate you guys taking time to watch it, because yeah, I'm just trying to, grow my YouTube channel and get some more subscribers and follow me on my journey of, trying to make this into a full-time gig, hopefully, eventually, someday, sometime. But right now, it's super fun, and I will always continue to keep it fun along the way. when it stopped being fun, that's when I'll stop building stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it.